Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm so glad you're on this morning. So glad you're here. Well, it's going to be another great day because they always are. But we had a great day yesterday with a lot of stuff going on. School of the Blind is keeping me very, very busy, but there's nothing keeping me from working on my speech and the workshops that I'm working on. Just trying to provide as much value as I can to other people. So I'm coming to you today. I'm seated down. So I'm seated here on a bar stool, and just want to talk to you a little bit about that workshop that I'm working on. So the workshop is all about helping people to understand what makes them unique. So the workshop title is WINK, and WINK means we've talked about the acronym before, but we'll talk a little bit more about it here in a minute. So I wanted to just tell you what I'm thinking and see what some of your thoughts are in regards to winking and how important it is to know what makes you unique. So having said that, I'd love to hear from all of you. If you're listening to this live, please put in hashtag live. If you're listening to this in a replay, put in hashtag replay. Tell us where you're coming in from. That would be great as well. And just anything you can do to get more comfortable with this platform and what we're doing would be great. So I really want to make sure that you have that ability to do that. So as always, just to make sure you're comfortable, and whatever you need from us, just let me know, and I'll be happy to get it to you. So if you have questions in this, so just put them in the comments and tell us a little bit about what your questions are. So having said that, we're going to hop right in. So I want to start to talk about this thing called WINK. So let's see, where do we start here? I am going to start with this slide, and you can see this. So that is, let's wink. So what does it mean to wink? Sounds kind of silly, I know, but it's not. So understanding how you can wink, you can start to understand why it's important. Why is it important to know what makes you unique? So we've talked a lot about that in the past, and I really want to make sure that we kind of continue to talk about it, because there are certain people out there, maybe you're listening, where you want to do something different. You want to approach life differently. You want to have a different outlook. You want to present yourself differently to the world. So for me, it was my positivity. I wanted to be positive day after day after day. I wanted to show that to the world. So you may, and I have a few notes here, but you may have, you may want to get more healthy. You may want to lose weight. You may want to be richer, have more money. You may want to exercise more. You maybe want to have more meaningful conversations with your kids. Maybe you want to get to a point where you can have some meaningful conversations with your parents if they're still around, and you want to be able to learn more about what it is that they're doing, or how they've lived their lives, in order to keep carrying on that legacy. That's very critical to a lot of people. So those are some of the ideas that I have. I'm wondering if you would do me a favor and put your ideas in the chat box of what maybe you want to do differently, or maybe you want to approach life differently, to understand what makes you unique. That's why it's so important. If you would, that would be great. What is that one thing you want to focus on? So try to narrow it down to one thing that you want to focus on, and then talk to me. Tell me what it is that's preventing you from that. What's keeping you from that one thing? If it's you don't have time in the morning, you need to eat something quick, and you eat something that's not healthy. You may you may want to think about that. So again, that's I don't want to prime you too much. I don't want to give you too many answers, but that is an example of what we're talking about when we say what's preventing you from achieving that one focus, that one goal. So that's important to know what that is. There may be many things preventing you from that thing you want to focus on. For me, it was having a positive personality. I wanted to be a positive personality, not only in my real life where I was actually doing work, but I wanted to present that to other people. I wanted to show other people how positive I am and how they can get some of that positivity as well. I want to be so happy, like my friend Michael Ray says from Louisville. He says, I want to be so happy that when other people see me, they get happy too. That's the kind of positivity that I want. Would anyone be willing to share with me what they have for the one thing they want to focus on, or maybe even what's holding them back? What's preventing them from that? So I'm gonna change our screen here so it's just me again, and then I'll look and see who we have for comments. I know we have a few comments already. So, somebody from LinkedIn is coming in from North Carolina. All right, hey, LinkedIn user, if you would, let us know who you are. And hashtag live, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And then another user, Mobisa. Good morning. Hi, how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. And, we'll continue to look at those comments as they come in. But think about what makes you unique. So it may not be what makes you unique, but it may be something you want to focus on. Something that you want to do to change somebody's life. And you may not think of it in that way. You may just think of it out. I just want to be more positive. I just want to be more, that looks better. Didn't know I could do that. Anyway, so that's kind of what we're talking about this morning, is to really, first of all, understand what we want to focus on. So if it's weight loss, if it's eating better, or if it's exercising, or if it's you name it. You tell me what it is that you want to do and what you want to focus on, and then that will become our why. That will become why is it so important to understand what makes us unique. That really blends into that. And then the I think about that so much when it comes to my positive personality. I want to make sure that I stay positive. So what I've done over the last few months, about even years, I've stayed away from the morning news. So when I get up first thing in the morning, I go down and make a cup of coffee. I stretch. I spend 10 or 15 minutes stretching. And then it's really tempting for me to go over and turn the TV on. To turn the TV on and watch the local news or the whatever. If I'm up late, if I'm sleeping in, if I'm then looking at the the national news or Today Show or Good Morning America, whatever it is. So if I get to a point where I'm looking at that, I'll get sucked in. I'll get sucked in by one story, and then that story will be in my head, maybe in the back of my mind, the entire day. And I think that is the absolute worst way to spend my day. And it's hard not to look at the morning news because I just feel like turning the TV on, getting some information it's easy. It's not always fun, but I mean it's easy. So that's what I have done to help me to be intentional, having that intentionality. And that's really what the I stands for, is being intentional with what makes you unique, with what your one focus is. And that's positivity for me. So again, let me know what it is for you. What else do we have here? So the next thing that we talk about is a new way of thinking. A new way of thinking. So we all do what we do very well, and we do it every day. But wouldn't it be great? Let's just hypothetically say that there is a global pandemic, or just a pandemic, which means global, but a pandemic, and everything is shut down. Our toilet paper supply is severely affected. there's all kinds of problems. Well, we're not allowed to go outside. That really was the case, obviously, as many of you know. And I still don't go outside very much. But having said that, let's say that you really are forced to make a change. Well, for me, I used to wake up and I'd spend a few hours in my office. My office was about 100 square foot, so it was really small. But I'd spend a few hours there, and I'd kind of get tired of it. And I'd decide to go to the library, and I'd work at the library for a little bit because they have a big open space. The Hilliard Library here is very nice, and get to spend some time there. And then I'd maybe go grab some lunch and come back home, spend a few more hours at my desk, or I'd go to the School for the Blind and I'd work there. Well, with the pandemic, I don't go to the library anymore because it's not open. It's open, but it's not open for meetings. I don't go to the School for the Blind because there's nothing there. Nobody is there. Nobody that I would work with, at least, to help them with the after-school program. So I do all this from home. And I am in my office. And I realize that my 100 square foot office just isn't big enough. So I says to my wife, Connie, I says, do you think I could move my office upstairs into the living room? And she said, why don't you just take over the other space in the basement next to your office? So my office used to be about 100 square foot. Now it's about 300 square foot. It's awesome. I absolutely love my space, but I would not have thought of doing that on my own. So sometimes we need other people to encourage us to think differently. But I want to encourage you to think differently. Pick something that you're doing, that you've done day after day after day, in the same way every time, and think about how you can do it differently. Let's see, who else do we have on here? Good morning. Let's see, and we have Rhonda. Good morning, Rhonda from Signet, Ohio. Thank you very much. No problem. Oh, good morning. And then our friend Laura. Hey, it's all right, Laura. You can catch up. But thank you for joining us. I really appreciate that. Laura is from Columbus, so that's cool. But yeah, so we're talking a little bit about the Wink workshop. I love that. And I think that it's important for us all to understand because, and join in with me and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Viva la différence. Yes. What do you think about doing something different that you've done all the time? Having a new way of thinking. And then the K is for kinesthetic. And kinesthetic means taking action. Doing something with what makes you unique, with what you have that separates you from other people. And then using that to serve others. I think of what we do here every day as a way of serving people. We serve people, and sometimes they comment, sometimes they don't. That's okay. But the service that we're doing is really helpful, not only to the people, but I mean to me as well, because I'm able to grow and I'm able to do things that I never thought I'd do before. This office is one of those. Going from 100 square foot to 300 square foot, that's a big deal. And now I'm able to present and provide people more inspiration, more motivation, more information. It's just it's been great. So the WINK acronym is one of those things where I overlooked it at one point in my life over a year ago. But now I realize that it's very important for us all to understand how we can wink. So let's wink. Let's wink together. Winking, again, means that you understand what makes you unique. And I know there's so many people out there that struggle with this. So let's just say, what do you want to focus on? How do you want to present yourself to the world? Do you want to focus on your health, your weight, your relationships, your whatever? Let's think about that. Let's think about what makes you unique. So again, tell me what you think, and then understanding the I being for intentionality. How can I be intentional with what makes me unique? For me, it meant stopping to watch the morning news. I don't watch the morning news anymore because I know that it puts bad stuff into my brain. And I don't want that. I don't want that in my eyes. I don't want that in my eye. But understanding that is going to be helpful to you as well. Once you know what makes you unique, what your real focus is, and then being intentional with that. It's great. And then the new way of thinking, a new way of work, a new way of handling life. I think that we all can take a lot from that. When it comes to a new way of thinking, during a pandemic, it's been vitally important for us all to have a new way of thinking because we've been able to. And isn't it amazing how many people have been laid off and furloughed and all that, and their lives have been totally disrupted? But they have, and many other people have, also adopted a new way of thinking. They've been able to recreate themselves in such a very short time and gotten back to work in whatever form or fashion that is. So a new way of thinking is really cool. So let's continue to talk about that as well. And then K for kinesthetic, you got to be an action taker. You just got to be one that keeps moving, keeps doing stuff. I don't like the way that sounds. That keeps taking action. If you take action, sometimes you're going to take the wrong action. Sometimes you're going to fall, but you're not going to fail. Don't fail until you stop trying. So just keep at it. Keep doing what you're doing, and you'll get there eventually. I promise you. Because I'll tell you, when I started this whole journey 7 years ago, really, 7.5, I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to do it. And had my day job to fall back on, and that was great. But then once my day job left me, my last day job left me, because I went from job to job to job. And then I had a new way of thinking. I had a new way of looking at what it is that I wanted to do. And I was focused and I was dedicated to making this work. With work meaning helping you to understand what makes you unique and helping you to have a better life, to be an encourager and to encourage other people. So let's go out and do that today. Let's go out and encourage other people to know what makes them unique and to give them hope. Let's see, who else do we have on here? Carlos Vides. Good morning. ¿Cómo está, Carlos? Have a great day today. Thank you very much. Stay healthy. You as well, Carlos. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. I really appreciate you all being here. We've got a lot to do. And let's see who else is. Laura says, Wink bracelets, Wink t-shirts. This is great. New way, all the way. Thank you very much, Laura. You have some good ideas. Maybe we'll put you on the merchandise committee. That seems to be the volunteer way of doing things. If you mention good ideas, then you end up being on the committee or chairing the committee. But hey, thank you. Let's see. And I got another comment here. Muy bien, mi amigo. Thank you. I know un poquito español, so that's about it. Thanks, Carlos. Hope you're well in Kansas City. So Carlos is in Kansas City, Missouri. So anyway, lots of good stuff happening today. We've got a lot of good things happening in our world. We try not to focus on the negativity. We try to focus on the positive, and we try to understand how winking is going to help somebody else be encouraged to have a better life and a better day. And if you just keep smiling, keep being so happy that other people think, man, I wonder how I can be that happy. Or maybe they just get happy too, just because you're so happy. When you smile so much, the other people start smiling. That's awesome. Thank you all for being here this morning. I really appreciate you. I love you very much. And as always, keep one eye on the road. We'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.